Warning! The following gameplay video was created by a scrub. If scrub gameplay disturbs you, stop the video now. I guess the way I like to look at it is, if I keep trying to do everything at its most optimal, even with the easier fights, I should have it as kind of a habit when I get into the really tough fights that might throw me off balance. Oh, wow. You sure don't know what you're doing. So, how am I going to handle this? Yeah, I'm just gonna not even bother with the maximum attack. I'll just use a normal punch, and then I can rapid punch them on my turn. Or have some... No, I won't even. I'll let someone else do it. Ryoko's over-leveled. In which case, I might as well use the max attack. Make things quicker when someone else closes in to finish them. So, things that I would like to do with the game if I had any say in it. Something less radical and might even be possible for this game engine would be if terrain effects, especially on movement on the tactical map, if it was different depending on the class of AFW moving through it. Like, I think light AFWs should be hindered less by most kinds of terrain. It would make them a little more useful. Not that Jun necessarily needs the help, but... Ooh, I almost hit him too hard there. Yeah, that's right, you get out of the way. Wow, you really don't know what you're doing. They must be hard-coded to not move ever. Or at least that one is. Or maybe not, I still don't have a great idea of how their logic works, which is, well, it's a little disappointing considering how long I've been playing this game. Because I have seen them do things that surprise me in that they did something clever or unexpected. And other times they do things like this. I really like that arm design for Ryoko's AFW. It's not actually a fist, it's just some spikes painted to look like fingers. But I think that in itself adds some of the, I don't know, the flavor of it. Yeah, you definitely need to hang back a little later on. So, who needs this space? Well, you're going up here, and you're going back here, so this should be fine. Do you need to recover? Nah. I've also kind of gotten convinced that although using forelegs to wreck enemy AFWs is very nice sometimes, under most circumstances I think I prefer them being squad killers. And one of the main reasons is that in the process of doing so you put recons on them, and in a game like this where space is at an absolute premium, well, you know how it is. The areas where you fight in are very narrow and kind of cramped and compact. Being able to attack an extra space or two away is... I'm not sure it's possible to overstate how useful that is. So where are you going? No, she needs to go here. Yeah, you're just staying here. You're actually in pretty good shape, so you can go kill another of their squads and probably do some damage. And it's daytime. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. There's nothing really for me to worry about. Now, let's not get too fancy. There's no need for it. Okay, those recons are doomed for sure because mine are going to charge up their snipe once they've had a bit of a rest in the back row. So I don't even need to shoot at them. Maybe I can throw off these guys' aim. Oh wow, they weren't even preparing to fire. Ooh, that was bad timing on my part. I should have been paying attention. Although I didn't see them set up. Well, maybe my squad was doing other things. I think that's enough shooting at them. I think it's better if I just keep walking at them for the rest of the battle. Wow, that's overkill. That is so much overkill. Probably the best case scenario now is if I can close to short range and then get them to take an anti-soldier shot or two, because they'll be really weak if they do that. And I am taking a really weird route to get to them. I saw sort of turning to the left and right. Alright, well, I'll take a missed AFW shot as well. Can I get a shot? Probably not. So, went pretty well. Should I even bother finishing off that light AFW? Oh, you get actions more often now. That's good. Well, of course that's good. You get the idea. So who's moving next? So Ryoko's moving. Yeah, things will be fine. Why do I keep saying that? Nah, Jun doesn't even need to move forward. So, one bit of Ring of Red logic that I still don't quite get is if one diagonal path is cut off, they're both cut off. Like, this way should work fine. So yeah, you're going here. Even though I said she'd be going up here. And yeah, I should bother finishing it to finish it off, because that'll make the foreleg easier to reach. Now, it seems like it would be impossible for me to not finish them off if I just do that with moving my mechs forward. But I've seen some strange things happen with their grenades, especially when the enemy's moving backwards. What you say? Also, it seems that I was mistaken. The enemy reinforcements did not, in fact, remove the "reinforcements are here" music. I'll be quite surprised if I ever hear that music again. So what next? I guess Epee will finish them. Yeah, that'll work. No, you don't need to do that. In fact, I prefer if you didn't. And that'll also block them from trying to reach the base. Because that sort of thing has also happened before. Now, you guys don't have a gas shell, so there's no excuse for not finishing them this time. I can also fire my APC shells. I don't even need to fire both of them, though. Even though there's no reason at all for me to conserve them, I still do stuff like this. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna get tired of that. Well, not much left to do. Wow. I know that the chance of a break is 0 anyway, so saying it out loud won't actually affect things. But still. Oh, yeah, right. You're probably not going to have a stake for the entire rest of the game. Oh yeah, those leg problems. You've been walking through snow and mountains. Probably not great for the machine. Wow. I'm actually not surprised. It probably carries an amount of ammo that's roughly equivalent to carrying Weizsägger's AFW. Alright. Well, as we've just observed, we kind of took our time moving through here, but we still got the 50 bonus. And I'm kind of wondering whether or not it should have been capped at 30 instead. We're going to see more and more evidence of this as we progress through the game. Well, we don't have a huge amount of game left, but I hope you'll take my word for it. Also, when I say that, don't get me wrong, even though there isn't a huge number of missions ahead, they're all going to be pretty long, so there's plenty of actual game left. Despite what I just said a couple of minutes ago. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is a short mission. Usually the whole grid is filled up from now on. Yep, there's the green unit. I feel like a word was left out there. So I feel like a couple of ideas were kind of mixed together. Like, there was the idea of the Soviets landing on the Japanese islands, and also the idea of Japan landing on Soviet shores. It feels a little mixed because, well, I don't know. that doesn't make things any more, I don't know, any less shady, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. Well, she was Nibelin, or however you pronounce it. Oh, well, isn't that a coincidence? Well, they swept out most of it anyway. I don't think that's the only reason. Well, we've already seen through transmissions that our heroes actually have no idea about that he does not get along well with the Soviet High Command. Redundant immobility? Right, so the parts that were causing problems earlier and prevented this from being fielded before now were replaced by some of the parts that are or were on Weizsägger's old AFW with the broken down legs and all. I think there was an engine transplant, in fact. Say what? So they're just passing through, but it's, of course, tougher to cover the base when there's people in it. Oh, wow. I'm sorry I skipped by that little bit of text so fast when he says, "John, I'm sorry." Like, well, John definitely deserved getting yelled at before, but I think it's really neat how they kind of understand each other better at this point. Well, before we stop, let's take a look at Weizsägger's new machine. Well, Its attack power has gone up. Its accuracy has also gone up. Both by fairly modest amounts. I think it's at something like 5 points of accuracy and damage. But the real difference is in the armor. It moved from 25 to 35. It's now the best armored machine around. Well, at least in our force. So the problem we had with throwing him into battles is not nearly as bad now. I still haven't quite decided what to do with him, but his numbers still say that he's... Well, his numbers and skills still say that he's an AFW killer. And, more to the point, a boss killer. That armor is going to help him a lot to take the hits from bosses while he throws out accurate fire every time he loads up, I think. Also, the design is now a lot more angular, well, more Nibelung style, and he has a proper shield. And I think the gun is a little bit modified too. It looks cleaner and, well, I'd have to do a side-by-side comparison. Maybe I should. But that's enough for now. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you next time.